When creating animations using illustrations, the Morph modifier is probably the most useful tool. In the previous video I explained how to move the fingers of the robot with the Morph modifier. In this video, I'll show you how to control the character with the Morph modifier in the same way. Add more control parameters to control the shape of the character. Control parameters to be added at this time are generally used, so let's use the presets. Press the presets button and select head direction. By using the control parameter saved as the preset, you can save the working time. Add another control parameter and select eye direction from presets. Then, create a new control parameter and apply a preset called eye blink. Create a control parameter using the preset breath. The control parameter body direction is created without a preset, because I will set the properties of it slightly different from a preset. Let's make the first of many motions the character closes eyes or opens. Select the mesh group, and select the modifier tab. Select one of the meshes related to blinking eyes, create a key in the control parameter called eye blink, and connect. Select other meshes one by one and press the Add to Keys button to register them in the modifier. Makes everything invisible except the mesh associated with eyes. Select one mesh of them. Press the Start Editing button or press the A key to turn on the edit mode. Let's make a character's eyes closed. Onion skin is a pretty helpful tool when working with the Morph modifier. Let's edit vertices one by comparing with the eyes opened. When the character closes her eyes, the character's eye whites must go into the eyelash mesh and be covered. When a human closes eyes, quite a lot of parts moves at the same time. Let's make eyebrows and eyelids move as well as eyelashes. When moving the slider on the left side of the eye blink, you can see the character's eyes are opened or closed. The following is the process of controlling the direction of the character's head. Let's make the character rotate the head slightly up, down, left and right by the control parameter called head direction. Select the front hair mesh, and add keys to the up, down, left, and right sides respectively. This time, let's use the Soft Selection tool. The soft selection tool is quite effective if the object being transformed has a smoothly rounded shape. When modifying the head direction or body direction with the Morph modifier, it is recommended to work with soft selection and FFD. Select the head mesh and make that the head looks to upward, downward, leftward, and rightward in the same process. Selects other meshes attached to the head mesh and performs the same process. An anime-styled illustration drawn has a little flat face, so I used the FFD tool instead of soft selection. It will take some time because there are many meshes related to eyes, but when this work is done, you will see great results. Now, the character looks at the direction corresponding to the head direction value. The character also blinks the eyes, so I think it will be an interesting animation. The blinking of the eyes was a bit strange and I corrected it. Now execute the bake and test it on the Unity scene. Control parameters can be manipulated in the Inspector UI. In the scene, the character blinks or turns her head, so it looks pretty good. If a person turns his or her head, the hair will move a little bit also. Let the back hair meshes also be registered in head direction to make them move synchronously. The meshes of the back hair move in the opposite direction of head direction. I completed this process quickly and easily using the FFD and soft selection tools. Let's make the character change the direction of the upper body. The motion of the character will be controlled mainly by the bones, but using the morph modifier here is very effective. I have created 2 additional control parameters to create that hands fold or unfold. First, let's make the character's upper body point to the left or right according to body direction. Select the body mesh and use soft selection to deform it. Moving the slider of body direction moves the upper body of the character. However, it seems strange that only the upper body moves. You have to make the arms and some meshes move together, including the upper body. The necklace mesh was made to move with the movement of the upper body. The meshes of both arms must move with the upper body. Deforming too much can cause problems when creating motion by bones. Let's make a little deformation. The onion skin will be quite helpful also here. When editing vertices one by one, some vertices may look strange. You can use the blur tool to even out the degree of deformation of the vertices. Select the vertices you want to apply first, then select the blur tool and rub it with your mouse. Make the mesh in the other arm also be controlled by the body direction. Meshes including the waist belt are also registered and edited in the morph modifier. The upper side of the skirt should also be affected by the movement of the upper body. Both meshes are also added to the morph modifier and made to move slightly according to the control parameter. This is my tip. When you want to make your character more alive, expressing the character's breathing is a very good approach. Earlier I added a control parameter called breath. Let's make the body mesh under control of breath. With soft selection turned on, select the vertices and use the scale tool. You can easily create a character breathing by simply increasing the size of the character's chest. I made that the necklace mesh deforms together. If you move the small parts together, the quality of the animation will improve. It is completed that the character moves the upper body and that the character breathes. I tried to make the motion that the character folds or unfolds both hands. You can make a better animation by creating a character blinking or breathing, and by creating a character folding and unfolding hands. Deforming the character's hand, I made the character's thumb as a separate mesh in advance. The movement of the character's right hand is completed. I did the same for the character's left hand. The movement of the character's head, upper body, and both hands are completed. You can control the character to look to any direction using the control parameter. A lot of details can be now animated. Let's add one more thing about the character's gaze here. This is to make the eyes of the character move according to the control parameter of the eye direction, which is the type of vector. In this case, I want to add keys to the diagonal direction. First, add the keys to the top, bottom, left and right, and move the eye iris mesh to create the gazing. Set the value of control parameter to the +X key and press the copy button on the right UI to save the current state. Then add two keys in the right diagonal direction and press the paste button to duplicate the +X state value. Create two more keys using the copy and paste functions in the diagonal direction on the left. Save the onion skin in the key of +Y. To use the onion skin, hold down the control key and hit the eye icon to make the other meshes disappear and only the meshes you need are visible. Since the eye iris has already moved horizontally on the two upper diagonal keys, you only need it to move up. Save the onion skin in the -Y key, and let's move the eye iris mesh for the downward diagonal keys in the same way. You can now control the character's eye iris mesh to move in all directions. Before completing this video, there is one more step left. By adjusting the z-depth value of the mesh's vertices, you can prevent any rendering problems. This process is not required. I will conclude this video by demonstrating how to set the z-depth value for some important meshes. The next video will show you how to create a cool animation using the morph modifiers and bones you have prepared so far. Thank you.